The quickly deal with this one before we go to the EIU report. The PPP over the weekend also elected its flag bearer. Now he talks about inclusiveness, and he's suggesting that one of the challenges with this country's development is the fact that the winner takes all issue, which has been spoken about over and over and over again, is a drawback. He's talking about forming a government of national unity when elected president of Ghana. Mr. Obi has given a smile. I don't know what really it means, but this talk, is it a talk or really politicians are serious about it?
Well, in the first place, we must congratulate PPP and its flag bearer for their successful Congress. Of course, unopposed to it was more or less acclamation.
Right.
It's brought a very major issue, but that aspect of inclusiveness is not done in a vacuum. Elsewhere, because of their political system, you most of the time have coalition of parties before governance takes off or before government is even run. By their system, at the end of the elections, we may not have a clear winner or a party majority in parliament. So what they do is to come together, and in coming together, it's easier to pick persons from various backgrounds to form a government. In our system, the presidential system, we can manage to also have coalitions. And Papa Kwesi Nduom is a big beneficiary of inclusiveness. Somehow there was a loose alliance with the MPP before the 2000 elections. And then when the MPP came to power, when we won the presidential and parliamentary elections, it was easy to make appointments across, to the extent that even someone like Dr. Ibn Chambers, who was in NDC and who did not come into any alliance with us, was the first to be recommended to be sent to ECOWAS. Papa Kwesi Nduom became a very prominent member of government, President Kufuor's time, moving from one place to another, at that National Development Planning Commission, to private sector development, to energy, and even chairing the Millennium Challenge account. It's not only him. Some DCs were even appointed from the CPP. Some positions were given, and then you could feel that at least there was a certain form of alliance. Even PNC came on board. The famous Rekubrobe, he had walked away from MPP and formed his own party, UGM. He came in as government energy advisor and later on chief executive of VRA. As we speak, the UGM is still on the books.
So that is the inclusiveness you're talking about?
That is the kind of inclusiveness which could be achieved because of a certain agreement that let's have a loose alliance so that we can win power. Now, as to, it's two-way in the sense that I don't expect the NDC, for instance, or President Mahama, for instance, to call me and say that I want to make you a minister of this, a minister of that.
Why? You won't
I will decline.
You won't pick up the position.
I will decline.
You're not serving your country?
It's a matter of serving my country, but we did not fight the elections together.
I think that is the inclusiveness electorate are talking about.
No. That could be recipe for chaos. If you remember, even when Akar was brought in as vice president, when he didn't share the philosophy of NDC, you saw what happened. I need to share your philosophy. I need to fight elections with you together. And after elections, I will decide whether I can accept to serve in your government or still stay out and then monitor you, have certain oversight responsibility over you.
I see.
So, one, either we change our system. Some are saying that if we have proportional representation, then it will bring everybody on board. Some too are saying that, of course, as we speak now, we have Honorable Azon from PNC in Parliament, who's at the office of the president. But they are hounding him out. There's the same person from office of president challenging him and taking his seat. And I hear last time he even went.
Oh, but that's a democratic contest.
How is it democratic contest? I mean, the man is a sitting MP. You've brought him on board. He's serving at the presidency, the highest level. You appoint somebody at the presidency. The person says, "I'm going for his seat, Clementa Park," and now both are at the presidency, but they are local heads. I hear the last time.
I thought that's a democratic contest.
How would you, if you were to be in the shoes of Azon, how would you feel? That I've come on board because we are doing a certain kind of alliance. Now you've brought somebody to take me out, and you're still saying that we are still in the alliance, and he's screaming all over the place. I hear last time he went to his constituency, some people were organized to even hoot at him. Is that the kind of thing that you're talking about? So we should be.
So if someone is contested, like Honorable say,
the same thing happens.
Is contested in constituency, you don't agree to that?
No, I'm not talking about contesting. But I'm saying that
but somebody from his own party contested.
No, you're talking about primaries.
Exactly.
You're not talking about primaries. You're talking about general elections. I'm saying that if you say you're in a certain sort of alliance, it happened to Honorable Bayrega too. I mean, when we were saying that we were doing inclusiveness, even ceded some seats. That is
not what the electorate want. They want to see, for instance, the NDC picks Honorable Obiamwa as a minister of power if he has the expertise.
It doesn't work.
You still won't do it even though you have the expertise.
It doesn't work.
You won't work under the NDC.
I go and sit in the NDC cabinet if I don't share the NDC views there. It's a recipe for disaster. One, would they even trust me to sit in cabinet? Because I will speak my mind there, and they think this guy is a traitor or saboteur. That's number one.
The two parties don't seem to have any.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Your ideologies are basically the same thing.
We have stuck to our ideology from day one.
There's nothing wrong. Is it different from?
Listen, there's nothing wrong. Look, in the UK, you have Conservatives and Labour. The Lib Debs decided to join the Conservatives. They came on board. And ran the country. But even after elections, they've offloaded the Lib Dem and they are running their country. So there's nothing wrong with parties having their
So for you, this said it's not doable. Inclusiveness is not doable.
No, I haven't said that. What I've told you is that Papa Nduom was in MPP government. I've told you that Kwesiama was in MPP government. Freddie Blay was brought on board in MPP government. There was a DC in the Western region was brought. Even Professor Hagan was made a chairman of a commission because of this arrangement. Malamisa came into MPP government because he was chairman of PNC. You understand? I can list a whole lot. Those who stayed on board, those who left because maybe they couldn't cope.
So for you, that is how far we can take inclusiveness?
That is depending on the arrangement you make.
Okay.
You should not create the impression that MPP wins power. MPP go and bring NDC people on board so that you see that there's inclusiveness. That is not how governments are run.
I see.
Governments are run.
Let me speak to
when you come on board, you have a certain arrangement. We've had alliances in this country before. So if there are alliances and at the end of the elections, such persons are brought on board, right from the beginning, there's a certain arrangement. They may even say that bring the best from your side so that we put them on board. We are not even going to pick governors, Abuja, because we think he's so brilliant. His party may nominate him. Okay, based on the alliance, we want you to bring him on board. And then we look at his background and see where we can fit him. So that if the party even decides that we are withdrawing him and bringing another person, the system works. It's not going to say that Bright is the brightest. So even if his government is not in power,
let's bring him.
Right?
Okay. So Papa Nduom says we need inclusiveness instead of one party taking total control. Kwame, Obi says we can do it to a certain level, but you will never get Kwame Agbodja as Minister of Local Government under an MPP government. He thinks that it will be stretching the issue too much.
Well, this statement is coming from Dr. Nduom. First of all, congratulations to him and his party for a successful Congress. He's talking about inclusiveness. Dr. Nduom was part of a CPP. Out of the fact that he can't have his way in his own party. Inclusive. He was inclusive of CPP, a CPP party. He can't allow himself to be contained in an inclusive CPP. So he went, of course, he's blessed. He's got a lot of money. He went and formed his own party so that he can practice one man inclusive this in PPP. I was wondering whether anybody was thinking he formed a party so that I could go and stand as a presidential candidate in PPP. No, that's not why he formed it. He formed it so that he will be in charge, and it's working well for him. My senior colleague OPB said something. Dr. Nduom is a beneficiary of that system, and he enjoyed it massively.
For 7 years.
Yes, he enjoyed all the benefits of that under MPP. He's lacking a bit of it these days. So what? It's become a political how the philosophy he's developing. That I know my party PPP cannot be a party that can win government. So we will position ourselves to be like a third force, to be doing the inclusive beneficiary things in the future. So he's proposing that I'm available. MPP, NDC, who are the most likely people to win the election, I am still available. If you are interested in me, come, I will just benefit some. But let's go by it. Inclusiveness cannot be limited to politicians. The way Nduom is talking about it is selfish to me. It's about the mindset in this country which thinks that if you are not a member of a political party or you are not a politician, then you don't have much to offer in the administration of this country. We need administrators of this country in the fields of engineering, science, and other things. Don't need to be there to be politicians. When we talk about inclusiveness, the way I understand it is that when we have issues about lack or inadequate healthcare facilities across the country, whichever government is in power must see it as a nationwide problem to be able to provide these facilities so that the inclusiveness includes the availability of healthcare facility everywhere. That is how I see it. It doesn't matter to me which government puts up a hospital in Adaklu. What Adaklu people require is that the government will bring hospital to Adaklu. So I am quite surprised at Dr. Nduom's understanding of what inclusiveness, because to him it is about I am Dr. Nduom. I have served in NPP government, even I have so much knowledge. Parties should be able to call upon me. That is not how I understand it. I understand inclusiveness to mean the inclusiveness where a child in a village does not get deprived, does not get left out simply because his father cannot afford a good school. So it is incumbent on the government of the day to send education, good one, to his area so that he can also benefit and contribute to this country. That is my understanding of inclusiveness.
And so you don't agree with him when he says that, for instance, political appointment should not be done based on along party lines?
Look, you see, my senior OB said something which is a fact. I don't think all the time that Nduom was in position in NPP, he was the darling, because there were people in NPP who have worked so hard, who thought that position should have been theirs. The same way when they brought it was easy for them to yank off what do you call it, Malamisa, because he wasn't one of them. When he came to when he came to Azon, the question you ask him is quite important. Honorable Azon is probably less than 100 meters away from here. Is his office of the president. As a minister of state, he's still a minister of state at the president. He's not a member of the NDC. In fact, he doesn't. I don't remember the last time he said vote for NDC or anything. But he's at the heart of government, serving. If Dr. Apak comes from his constituency, have the legitimate right to also contest. If they contest and one of them wins, I don't think that is an affront to good democracy something.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Even when political parties are stretched in getting expertise, experts, people with the required skills to work, they should not fall on the other political party.
Why not? I think they should be able to do that. But you see, let's be practical here. OB said, look, parties are built around certain ideologies. Are we capable of understanding that all of a sudden OB is knowledgeable in a field? Under normal circumstances, he's a Ghanaian. It shouldn't be difficult for for him to serve in any capacity.
What is the problem?
The problem stems from the fact that in this country, people will pretend that is what we want, but the majority of the people who toiled for you to become the president don't understand it, that they will tell you, can't you find any caliber of person
in your party?
Yes, but the good thing is that
I
Obi
see.
can also serve this country, and he's already serving. He's a senior member of parliament. He serves on a committee that is very strategic in parliament. So he doesn't need to be a member of the executive to
make an impact?
Yes, he's already making an impact in parliament, one of the arms of government. So there are so many ways to do
that,
it.
the Constitution provides that majority of members of the executive should come from parliament. If you're talking about inclusiveness and, for instance, PPP, you don't have anybody in parliament. And the president wants to pick an MP from parliament to serve. How is it? And I respect Papa Kwesi
So that is why
so much.
it's difficult to amend that law.
Right. I respect Papa Kwesi Nduom so much. But I think he's also a very bad example of inclusiveness.
I see. I put that question. He's joining us later on in the show.
He spent 7 years in MPP. He had the confidence of President Kufuor every day. President Kufuor gave him all the opportunity, put him at very strategic places. At the end of the day, he walked out and said yes, SSM. And the NDC picked on yes, SSM. And then it affected MPP. Do you think that next time, when anybody is bringing anybody on board, you will not look at these things?
The person will watch left and right before.
Yes, you've come to be part of it. And if you come out to say that this is a bad government, everybody will believe you.
I see.
But you were a minister for energy.
But if it is bad, he should not say it.
No. If it's bad and you're saying it, then you can walk out long ago. When did you see that it was bad?
All right.
Let's
Let's move on. I'm running out of time. Let's move on.